What is normal? Is there such a thing? Google defines normal as conforming to a standard, usual, typical, or expected, or the usual, average, or typical state or condition. So what is a normal family? Do you have a normal family? I certainly don't. From the moment I was born, I have been robbed of the idea of a normal family. My mother developed schizoaffective bipolar disorder whenever she was a young adult, and when my brother and I were born, she still carried the mental illness with her. Eventually, her outbursts became too much, and my dad did what he had to do, and he took my brother and I, and we left. The outbursts ranged anywhere from she would take my brother whenever he was a baby and throw him up in the air and catch him, thinking she was playing with him, but it was just a little too much for a baby. Also, one day my dad woke up and she was holding a knife to his throat. I haven't seen my mother since the beginning of 6th grade. She lives in Chicago, in a not so great part of Chicago, actually. She can't really find much of a job because of her disability, so basically she lives off disability checks and Social Security and welfare. However, I do hear from my mom quite often. She calls every week. She wants to hear everything about my life, how school's going, what I'm doing every single day, and all that. In 6th grade, my mom gave me this doll. This doll to me is the best reminder of how precious life is and what I have, what I was robbed of, and where I come from. It reminds me of the mother that I never knew, yet she is the woman that knows me better than anybody else in this entire world. I should begin by explaining the nature of schizoaffective bipolar disorder. Schizoaffective bipolar disorder is a mental illness, and it's marked by auditory and visual hallucinations, which is the schizoaffective part, as well as severe mood swings, which is the bipolar part. The mood swings range anywhere from, at one moment she could be laughing and giddy and hyper, and the next minute she'll be on the floor sobbing, thinking everybody hates her and the world's wrong. She also displays paranoia, thinking everybody's out to get her all the time, and the hallucinations range from her seeing things that aren't really there, such as people, or hearing things in her head, and she'll laugh and reply to them. That is typical of her whenever she is on a kick where she's not taking her medicine. Whenever she does take her medicine, usually she's cognitively there. However, she has repetitive movements such as rocking, or she'll wring her hands. My mother, despite her illness, is a wonderful, wonderful woman. She is an Italian woman. She moved here from Sicily whenever she was about 14, and she has an Italian accent, which I absolutely love about her. She sends money to my brother and I and won't take no for an answer. She is sending us money, and that is final. She genuinely also worries and cares about my brother and I, and she really loves us unconditionally. That woman has never been mad at me for any of my stupid teenage ideas or decisions. It is really a shame that such a beautiful, genuine, and amazingly good-hearted woman was stricken with such a mental illness. My mom is so special to me because she teaches me every day how precious life is. It is a genetic disorder, and I could have gotten it, and honestly, I'm a young adult now. I still could get it, but she's really taught me not to be scared of a disorder. And even if my kids get it, I can't be scared because people with disabilities aren't weird. They aren't psycho. They aren't abnormal. They're just a little unique. They have something that isn't their fault inside of them that makes them a little different. But throughout all that, their personality is still able to shine through. It also helps me have a much more mature view of people with disabilities, I feel, than a lot of kids my age. What was really hard for me was feeling guilty about the fact that I felt like I was robbed of something in my childhood. I knew I shouldn't have felt this way, but at the same time, it was really hard for me to watch other girls my age having fun with their moms, going out, and their mom was their best friend. They could get their nails done with her, and for me, it just was never like that for me. Instead of going and hanging out with my mom, I got a call from my aunt saying that my mom went in and out of the mental hospital that day. And I remember on Mother's Day, a few years back, she was in the mental hospital on Mother's Day, and I didn't know it. And that was a really hard year, especially for my brother and I. It is beyond difficult to have a mom with schizoaffective disorder, especially when I want so bad to be close to her, and I just can't because of our situation. However, I do love my mom more than anybody else in the entire world. This doll is something I am very protective of. It teaches me a lot of good life lessons. It shows me how to be grateful for the things I have and all that my mom is able to do for me. This doll reminds me every single day that even though she's not here, I have a mom that is loving, she's precious, she's fragile, but she's everything to me. I have faith that one day my mom and I will be reconciled. Many people don't just understand how much a reunion would take for my family. It's just not that easy. I can't just pack up and show up on her doorstep. The shock of her seeing me and not knowing what I look like and all that stuff would just, it would relapse her like it has in the past. Every time we've gone to visit her, she's kind of declined for a little while and has to really restudy herself. So we really need to take things slow and build up the relationship again. This doll, though simple, cheap, and really kind of ugly, is a great reminder of all that I have, all that I've been blessed with, and really how different my life is than a lot of kids my age. But it also shows as a good reminder to me every single day that I need to be grateful for what I have and be a mature adult every single day. Thank you.